Black Friday is fast approaching, and with it comes a load of overconsumption. So let's talk about the wastefulness of Black Friday, but also, is there a bright side to Black Friday and other wasteful holidays like Prime Days, Labor Day, etc.? Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste and practical ways to be an activist. Let's get into just how wasteful is Black Friday and should we actually be supporting it or not, even by supporting eco brands. Something we need to keep in mind with Black Friday, especially with like big box retailers, right? Like, I'm not so sure how much often this happens online, but this definitely was a thing when people would go shop in person. Retailers would purposefully make their prices a little bit higher, like leading up to Black Friday, so that when their sale hit, it looked like such a great discount, when in reality, it wasn't all that much lower than the original price. They also offer fewer resources during this time to give that scarcity mindset to, you know, cause that craze, like, there's only one 72-inch TV left, it's mine, no, it's mine, and people start fighting over it. They also use other tactics like offering free shipping. My least favorite online tactic, and like obviously it works because they're making money, but I hate when they're like, spend $75 to get the free shipping, or like, oh my gosh, you're $8 short of free shipping and the shipping is like $6, so like you're gonna be paying more for that $8 in product to get to that free shipping anyway. Keep that in mind too when you're online Black Friday shopping. Is this, you know, this free shipping, like you had to reach a certain amount to get the free shipping. They also know that shopping can release dopamine and all these other things that happen when people go shopping, especially with like all this scarcity mindset, right? And to be honest, it's genius. They know exactly what they're doing. It's smart. They're making a profit, but we do not have to fall for it. Especially if the planet is taking the brunt of the damage, as well as people who are making these wasteful products, probably in unsafe working conditions. And speaking of that, the impact of Black Friday on people is also very big. For people who are making this stuff, they're probably required to make a bunch of stuff at low cost. They're not getting paid a lot. They're probably not working in safe conditions. They're probably working overtime to make sure that these companies have enough product to sell. As well as, what is Black Friday doing to us, the consumers in these wasteful countries? It's making us selfish, it's making us rude, it's making us angry at one another. So let's bring it back to shipping. Let's talk about the wastefulness of Black Friday in the terms of shipping. So obviously all shipping comes with some sort of environmental damage, some environmental cost, but depending on which method you choose, that kind of determines the environmental impact, like the true environmental impact. For example, if you choose the you know, I need the fastest shipping as possible, Amazon's 1-day or 2-day delivery, or even other companies, when you choose the quickest shipping, you're probably choosing something that's going to be shipped on an airplane, most likely because that is the fastest mode of transportation. But if you can sometimes opt for ground delivery, which means that it'll go in a train or a truck. Not that trucks are like great for the environment, but I'm quite confident that they're better than a plane. Or you can just choose the slowest shipping. So according to DW, the global transport sector currently accounts for up to 4% of the world's emissions, and the European Parliament estimates that emissions from the global maritime industry alone could rise as high as 17% by 2050. Research shows that 400,000 tons of CO2 will be emitted into the atmosphere as a result of the transport for Black Friday in the UK alone. That's only the UK. That's insane. And only for Black Friday. So this just really shows you how much emissions can spike during this holiday with all of the shopping that's taking place, especially online these days. Something else I don't think enough people look at is, not only is this the shipping from, you know, the warehouse to your door, this is also the shipping of all of the materials to make whatever you're buying. Say, for example, I bought this fleece. I mean, I did buy this fleece. But say, for example, I buy it for Black Friday. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's probably polyester. So this polyester has to be harvested, which it's made from oil. So the oil has to be harvested, has to be transported to a place where it can be, you know, extracted and refined. From there, it has to be turned into polyester. From there, the polyester thread is turned into this shirt. Not even the shirt, maybe all these different components. It's turned into the white, the peach, the pink. And all of those components are maybe shipped somewhere else to be turned into the full sweatshirt. And then that's shipped to the warehouse. And then that's shipped to you. There are so many different steps, and not just from the warehouse to your door, so keep that in mind too, all year long when you're buying new resources, but especially here we're looking at shipping emissions. What you're buying obviously also has a big impact on the planet. It could, but it also doesn't have to. One of the most commonly purchased items during Black Friday is tech. It's a big time for tech to go on discounts, whether that be a blender, a TV, a Lomi. And e-waste has become a real problem, and I have several videos now on e-waste talking about how you can recycle it correctly, how you can find tech secondhand without getting scammed, and the environmental impact of tech, how terrible it is for us to put it in landfills and also send it to someone else to deal with and not just recycle it at home being in your home country. So you can check out all of those videos above and below. Not only is it terrible to dispose of, particularly in landfills, but it also takes so much energy to create tech. Again, looking at every single component like we did with the shirt, when you're looking at something like an iPhone, you have to consider there's glass in here, there's gold in here, there's probably copper in here. I don't even know all the components that make up a phone. There's probably a lithium-ion battery. There are so many different components that have to be harvested all over the world, made into each different part. All those parts are then put together to be an iPhone. It's a super, super intensive process, especially for stuff like tech, stuff that has to be mined, refined, harvested. It's very pollutive. And of course, that's just tech. I can't get into every single category today, but also let's talk about fast fashion real quick. If you are not new to zero waste, you probably heard the term fast fashion before. If you've never heard the term, you can check out this video up here. Very old video. Perhaps I should remake it. I don't think it's the best quality, but the information is there and it's good. Fast fashion is literally fashion that is produced quickly. And when fashion is produced at these quick rates, corners are cut for the environment and for the people. Of course, the emissions to, ship all this stuff very rapidly, and almost all fast fashion is made from polyester, which, like we already talked about, is made from oil. Maybe I should make that fast fashion video again, because there's so many different aspects. There's the textile waste from they cut out something like this and then all the excess up here and up here gets thrown away, rarely recycled. There's water waste from dyeing all of the materials. Even if fast fashion is made from stuff like cotton, it's so wasteful to grow cotton. Something else to keep in mind when you're buying stuff all the time, but particularly for Black Friday, is plastic. Because plastic is the cheapest, it's also probably one of the quickest to make as well, because it doesn't require growing like cotton or wood. So plastic in our clothing, like we already talked about, which leads to microplastics. You can learn more about microplastics in this video, as well as just plastic toys in general. A lot of, I don't want to call it junk, some of it is junk, not all of it. But like toys that we're buying for our children, a lot of it is made out of plastic, which if they're getting a lot of use out of it, they enjoy it fine, but it could also just be something that they don't like and then it's wasted. Again, I can't go into every single category of stuff that people buy for Black Friday, but this is just something to keep in mind, the environmental impact of creating our stuff and disposing of our stuff. We need to think of the full picture and not just, is this made out of plastic? No. Okay, this shirt is eco-friendly. Sure, maybe. Just because it's made out of cotton, for example, doesn't mean it's eco-friendly, because cotton takes immense resources to grow, and if you don't recycle it at the end of its life, it's going to end up in the landfill. Stuff to keep in mind. Speaking of stuff, guess how many packages are created every single year for Black Friday alone? This is, again, something we need to think about with shipping, is how much waste, physical waste, is created by shipping. It is estimated that 15 billion or more pieces of mail and 900 or more million packages are being delivered between Thanksgiving and New Year, with a 25% increase in waste in the last quarter of the year alone. And in the last 3 months of the year, we're producing 25% more waste than we do the rest of the year. And according to Euronews, approximately 80% of these purchases for Black Friday and Cyber Monday are going to end up in the landfill anyway. Because guess what? A lot of them are impulse purchases, or you're buying a gift for someone, like, oh, they might like this, or oh, it was on sale, I might as well get it for them, and then it's wasted. So just another thing to keep in mind is if you're impulse buying this Black Friday or Cyber Monday, really think through your purchases. Do you actually need it? How much are you going to use it? Where are you going to put it? What are you going to wear it with? Does it really give you joy, or is it just on sale? And it's kind of some fake joy. You have to keep in mind. Speaking of throwing stuff away, we need to talk about landfills. I have a full video on landfills. Such a fun topic, right? How long do we have until our landfills fill up? And you can watch that up here. But if you didn't know, we don't have infinite landfill space. It actually takes a lot of planning and effort to put a landfill in a correct spot, because, you don't want it to be too close to a city. You don't want it to be too close to waterways. You don't want it to be somewhere that's going to be hit by natural disasters or eroded very quickly. There's a lot that goes into picking a landfill site, and you can't just put a landfill anywhere. Something else to keep in mind is that landfills do in fact have max capacities. I guess that makes sense. If you're building, a man-made hill, you can't just build it into space, into eternity. There is a max capacity that you can safely build it before it, collapses. So of course we can recycle, we can resell our stuff, we can donate it, we can compost stuff. But something else that we can do to prevent our landfills from filling up is by thinking through our impulse purchases before we even buy them. While it's great that if you think through oh man, I bought this cup on impulse, I don't like it anymore, I'm gonna donate it, I think that's a great step in the right direction. But ultimately, you should think through that purchase first and talk yourself out of buying it entirely, because that reduces supply and demand, as well as there's a hidden truth, a hidden secret maybe, behind thrift stores, and you can learn more in this video, that a lot of thrift stores, particularly chains like the Salvation Army and Goodwill, get so much inventory every year that they are also throwing away stuff. Even if you donate something, it might still end up in the landfill. So think before you buy in the first place. But of course, all of these negative things to say, Black Friday and other deals can be a great benefit to a lot of people. If you truly need something, you might as well get it on a discount. I like to share discounts for eco brands throughout the year. I just did a Labor Day one. I'll probably do one for Black Friday. I know a lot of eco brands also boycott Black Friday, which like good on them, but I will support the ones that are doing Black Friday because eco swaps particularly can get very expensive. And if you need a phone case and you're like, I really want to peel a case, but I can't afford one. If they do a sale for Black Friday, it's a good time to get something that you need. This goes for non-eco stuff too. If you need a new blender, if you need a new microwave, if you need a new washing machine and drying machine, and you can get it on a really good discount, you might as well. Like if you're gonna buy it anyway, why not get the discount, right? This is where Black Friday has a lot of nuance. When you're impulse buying for Black Friday, that's one thing. But if you need something on a discount, might as well. And maybe that's a hot take as an environmentalist. I support that kind of shopping on Black Friday. Actual needs. Just keep in mind that you need to exercise self-control during these sales. Think before you purchase. And don't use this as an excuse to impulse shop just because stuff is on sale. If you see a new product that catches your eye, I'm just gonna keep using this cup because it's right here. Say you're browsing Keep Nature Wild's website and you're like, wow, I really, really love this cup, but I already have a coffee cup at home. Or even if you don't have a coffee cup at home, but you're like, will I even use this? Write it down somewhere, your journal, your notes app. And then if you think about it again, go back into your notes app and like put it down like I thought about this on, November 1st or whatever. I thought about it again on November 4th. Like if you keep thinking about the product, you'll probably use it and get a lot of life out of it. But if you never think about it again and one day you're going through your notes app and you're like, wow, I wrote this note down 6 months ago and I never thought about that product again, you just saved yourself from an impulse buy. Now I know a lot of people in the eco movement already know this. You already probably know how to talk yourself out of impulse buys. You probably already know not to overconsume. So you're probably not the target audience for this video, though I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you probably learned something. But I would really encourage you to share this with like the shopaholics in your life, the average people in your life, to also think through their purchases this Black Friday and all year long, but particularly this time of year where they're really promoting overconsumption, they're really promoting capitalism, impulse shopping. This is something we all need to keep in mind, not just the environmentalists. So, should you boycott Black Friday or not? Personally, I do, unless I absolutely need something, which chances are I don't. I have everything I need right now. If I think of something in the next, couple weeks, maybe. But I will boycott Black Friday. I have never been, maybe I'm one of the only Americans that can say that. I have never been Black Friday shopping, online or in person. Before I was an environmentalist, I don't really like staying up late and I don't like crowds. So like back in the day where like you had to go shopping at midnight in person before the age of the internet. Listen, I was born after the internet was born, but like before online shopping. I hated it. I hated the idea of it. And now I hate overconsumption, so I just don't partake in Black Friday. What you can do is, it's a day after Thanksgiving. Keep spending time with your family. Eat leftovers, have fun, watch football. Keep your computer closed, keep your phone closed. Don't check your emails that day because a lot of brands will be emailing you like, hey, look at our hot deals. Keep all your browsers closed and all that sort of stuff. Like don't tempt, if you know that you're gonna be tempted, don't tempt yourself on purpose. Like I said in the beginning, Black Friday and the weeks to follow, the months to follow up until New Year's is the most wasteful time of the year. It's supposed to be the most happy time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. Why are we destroying the planet? All that to say, it doesn't have to be the most wasteful time of the year. We can change that. They're promoting to us for a reason because they know we're gonna buy stuff. So the more of us that boycott Black Friday, the more of us that learn about our impulses and learn to not overconsume, the better it's going to be for the planet. I know this whole video is about anti-consumption and anti-capitalism. In a couple weeks, I have my 2023 gift guide coming out. And for my gift guides, I love to focus on eco brands and small brands. So that way you don't have to run to Amazon to get someone a gift this holiday season. So while I'm definitely not one to promote overconsumption, if you have to buy something, choose a small brand if you can afford it. Stay tuned for that and other holiday content I have coming. I'm so excited for the holiday season. I'm still currently in Washington as I'm filming this. As you're seeing this, I'll probably be in like Minnesota or Michigan, where my internship is ending in 2 weeks. If you want to learn more about my internship, the video is down below. And we're taking like 6 weeks to road trip back to Ohio. We're spending the holidays with our families. We have not been to Ohio for the holidays. It's been a long time because we've been in the Air Force, we've been overseas during COVID. It's been crazy. So we're really, really excited to spend the time with our families this holiday season and boycott overconsumption. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something. And if you did, don't forget to share this video with others. Leave it a thumbs up if you did. And let me know what kind of content you want to see. I'll see you next week. But until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye, guys. I think that's a little better. These pieces are so short. Oh my. Before it, collapses. Runs away. What's the word? Roads.